right, so I'm gonna do a little video on this because I've been searching the internet and all the videos here completely freaking suck. I just spent 2 weeks diagging and going through this damn problem here. And what had happened is my full drive light was flashing on the inside. I couldn't get full drive at all, whole 9 yards. And everybody kept saying you got to split the transfer case apart for this one, and that most of the time it's that front actuator up on the front axle. There is several videos online showing how to get to that one and how to take it apart and solder it the whole 9 yards, so I'm not going to mess with that. There's other people that can do that. For this one here, I'm going to take it apart, so bear with me here, but let me show you something. You do not have to take your transfer case apart. There's 3 bolts. Let me find my fingers here. 3 8mm bolts right here. Undo those 3 8mm bolts, and there's a little spur gear in there. You can pop that spur gear off, and then you can unbolt your 3 bolts. There, and back there. Unplug your wire harness here, and your 2 positioning sensors here, and this whole thing will come off. Now, I'll show you real quick because I also couldn't find the positioning for the gear in here. This is very simple. It's 3 10mm bolts. And I'm taking this back apart because I'm going to seal it up anyway. You take your 3 10mm bolts off, you can unplug the top, and you can take this apart. Now, once you take that apart, that's what it looks like. There's the factory position, just so that you can see, about the 3 o'clock position for these 3 tabs right here is where this gear needs to be. Now, basically, in a nutshell, let me crawl up when I get the truck. This is the inside of that cap. Okay, so you've got a brushed motor right here that supplies power down to your shaft right here. This has got 2 little brushes on the inside of it, so you can take this cap off. You can clean the brush motor on the inside, put your springs back in, put your motor back in, then put your cap back on. And basically, when your wire harness is plugged in there, starting from the right side here, these first 2 prongs are what supplies power to your motor here. The remaining prongs here gets information from these here. So when your gear rotates, remember those 3 prongs, when they rotate in here, it sends information back through here and up to your front differential, and that's what will lock in the front. On my particular case, my stock one wasn't sealed very well, got a little bit of water in there, and these first 2 here got corroded really bad and caused my initial problem. So I didn't know this at first. I started with the front one, I tore it apart, I resoldered the motor up in there, put it back in. Still didn't fix the problem, so I wound up having to go to this here. And then I put it on originally and it kind of worked. So then I was like, well, I need to take it apart, seal everything up to keep the mud and water and everything else, because I do actually use my truck, out of it so that it'll last longer. Well, once I did that and I put it back together, it no longer worked. So I've spent almost 2 weeks daily here in the afternoons tearing this thing apart, repositioning the gear inside of there, thinking that maybe it was in the wrong position, wasn't reading right, and the whole 9 yards. And it turns out, what had happened is when I took this cap off to seal it is where I made my mistake. So here's a secondary cap, and I found 2 problems. Number 1, the magnets on the inside became loose, and as you can see in this one, 3 of them got pushed together, which is a problem. They're supposed to be equally spaced apart. They shouldn't be loose like that and shouldn't be able to move around. The next problem that I just figured out, and I don't know why I wasn't paying attention, there's a little nipple You can see it. Sorry about my dirty hands, I'm working. Little nipple there, little nipple there, and just a hole there, which aligns, if you're looking at it, your nipple, that's your hole right there. See? And then you got a nipple there and a nipple there. So what had happened is when I was putting the cap on, it was getting turned in the wrong position, which was then causing the motor to heat up because it wasn't getting the right polarity to be able to spin it. So now that I figured all this out, I hope it can help other people in the future. And just know, you do not need to split your transfer case to fix that part. So do not go to a dealership. Do not pay them $1,000 in parts, not to mention God knows whatever else they want to charge you to pull this transfer case apart. It's literally under your 3 8mm bolts on the back, pull that spur gear out. Undo your 3 14mm bolts around it, and then that whole unit slides right off. But in the reality of it is, there's nothing electrical in this. There's not. This isn't even electrical. All this does is it tells the inlays in your cap which way it goes. So what's going bad is your cap, and you watched me pull it off. This is literally 5 minutes. You can undo your 3 10mm bolts, unplug that one wire harness, pull this off, put a new one on, put your wire harness back on. If by chance you pull this gear out, just remember, 3 o'clock position. That's what you need. Thank you.